question that I get a lot personally, and I see all around the web on like Instagram, Reddit, wherever, is, oh, why is no one hiring me to build their Squarespace website, or, you know, their website in general? And the harsh reality is, it's not this elusive reason, and you know, you just can't put your finger on it. If you look at your situation objectively, and you look at who you are objectively, there's probably a million different reasons. But in this video, I'm going to go through a few that I think are really holding you back, and I have seen be a common bottleneck for most web design businesses. And so before next time you start whinging about, oh, no one's coming to me to build their website, well, look at yourself and look at your business objectively using the things that we're going to go through today, and then come back to me in, 6 months' time once you've implemented them all, and let's see if no one's hiring you to build the site then. So, number one is you're probably just not as good as you think you are. We all have, well, most of us have, not delusions of grandeur, but we all probably think that we're better than we are. I certainly think I'm better than I am. But what I see a lot of, personally, is people coming to me and saying, oh, I'm not getting the big jobs. And then I say to them, well, are you a big job designer? If me and you are going for a 10k job, and they look at my portfolio and your portfolio, they look at my process, your process, they look at my social media content, your social media content, my blog content, your blog content, my YouTube content, your YouTube content, all of these things, who's better? I don't know, but I would assume it's not going to be you for the most part. Now, I know I sound like an absolute dickhead saying that. Sorry. But, if I'm going for $100,000 job and I come up against this big agency who've got everything together, everything's perfect, all their social media content's perfect, all their YouTube videos are really high production value, their work is amazing, their client list is just huge, and there's massive names on there, and I'm trying to bid on the 100k project against them, well, who's going to win? It's them versus you. It's objectively black and white. And so to scale that back down, ask yourself this question: are you aiming too high right now? This is what a lot of people do. They think that they are worthy of, 5k projects, 10k projects, 15k projects. But the reality is they're a 1 to 2k website designer right now. And that's not to say don't be ambitious. I teach everyone inside Six Figure Design Club to aim as high as you possibly can, but also be realistic. You can't get angry about not landing the big jobs if you just try to skip all the small jobs, and in that time you've never really progressed how you design websites. You think just because you've been in the game for a long time means that you are just owed all of these big projects. It's not the case. You need to be getting better and better and better with every project. You need to be solving problems and making a note of those problems and the solutions to those problems with every project. You need to be seeking to improve your processes. You need to be taking constant educational courses, masterminds, meetups, all of this. You need to be actively trying to improve, because if you're not, someone else will be. Someone else will be doing all of those things that you're not doing, and they will get better. They will become worthy of the 5 and the 10k projects, but you're still a 2k designer, and then you're whinging about, I can't land these big projects. Well, yeah, obviously, because only one person can land them. And if it's you who hasn't progressed versus them who've put everything into re-educating themselves, or not re-educating themselves, but further educating themselves, building up a client list, building on top of an already amazing website, building out an amazing portfolio, they're just always going to spank your ass when it comes to getting the big jobs. And scale this back even further. Are you a 1k web designer? Have you just come in to web design in general and thought, yeah, well, the going rate is 1k. okay, well, I'm just going to start charging people that. Well, there's 100,000 other web designers charging 1K, and 90,000 of them might be better than you. So why is someone going to pick you? It doesn't make any sense. You've got to be objective, and you have to find some form of edge to make you stand out from the crowd. Can you be cheaper? Are you better educated? Are you more willing to go above and beyond? Will you offer unlimited amends? There's so many different avenues that you can go down to make sure that you stand out. But most people just don't do it. They think, well, I'm a web designer and there's enough projects to go around, so, I'll just be me and I'll stay, sort of roughly at what I'm doing, but I'll just scale my prices. Well, how are you going to scale your prices if you're not better? There's this disconnect between the value and the price. Just because, I don't know, 100,000 other people are charging 5K plus for a website, that doesn't mean that you can, because you're not there yet, or you might not be there yet. It might not even be a skill issue. It might be a client communication issue. If it's that, well then do some form of course on how to improve your client comms, or actively listen to your calls back. So record your calls, obviously get consent from the client, but record the calls, watch them back, see, sometimes you can pick up on clues where you lose a client in a call. Have a look at that. Okay, assess that. Where did I go wrong? How can I improve it? Okay, maybe it's some other problem. I don't know. It can be a ton of issues, but what I'm trying to get at is there's something in your process somewhere where you're lacking, but you think you're not. So go back through your process. It's mostly going to be skill. The reason why most web designers can't get jobs is because they're just not as good as other web designers. It's so simple. If you're good, you will get paid. If you're not as good, you're going to get paid less. So look at yourself in the mirror and say, do I need to get more education? Do I just need more time in the game? What is it that I need to make myself worthy of these big projects? I recently charged $80,000 for a website. I could never have just jumped straight in if I was, let's say, a year in. I couldn't have just jumped on a call with that exact client and gone, yep, so this is the scope, this is how many pages. It's multiple websites, actually. It's like 5 websites, but it's like a group of templated websites. I couldn't say, okay, so it's going to be this many sites, this many pages, this colours, this branding, whatever, and charge that same rate. I just couldn't have done it because I wasn't worthy. So you need to look at yourself, as I've said, and say, okay, well, am I worthy? If yes, well then there's probably some other issue in the business that you can tweak, and then the floodgates will open. If no, if you're not quite as experienced or skilled, or you've just stagnated, then it's time to be truthful with yourself and say, okay, well, I need to go back to the drawing board. You may feel, I don't know, frustrated or angry that other people are getting these jobs, and you should do, but you are not entitled, A, to jobs, and B, to whinge if you're not actually going to do something about it. I saw someone not too long ago and they said, well, what is the point of moaning if you're not going to do anything about it? Someone who has a whinge and then does the same thing day in, day out, they're always going to be in that exact position because their mindset is just mashed potatoes. It's not there. So you need to address that first. And you can have a whinge, but then just make sure you do something about it. So if you are a whinge bag, I have been prone to be a whinge bag. I probably still am, to be fair, but at least I go and do something about it. And that's what you have to do. So look yourself in the mirror, ask yourself, am I worthy? If I am, okay, carry on, try and tweak some bits. If I'm not, go back to the drawing board, get educated, try and improve the portfolio, have more skin in the game, have more time in the game, and then reassess 6 months down the line. It takes time, but when you get there, it will change everything. So that's number 1. Number 2 is your website focuses too much on you and who you are and not on the work that you do or how you solve a client's problem. So if you go onto my website at bycrawford.com, you will see in the header there's a video about me. And then it's like Sam Crawford, award-winning Squarespace designer, 400 and something sites built, whatever. But then in the video, it goes through the things that I build for clients and the websites that I've done and how I can help you. So I'm talking to you and how I can help you. Then it jumps straight into clients worked with, so you can see all of the previous, well, not all of the previous clients, but like some really good social proof. Then it goes into work, so it's just like a slider with all my, not all my portfolio, but a lot of my portfolio that clients can just quickly swipe through. Then there's a little bit about me, and then other stuff about like how the process will look if you join me and what outcomes you will get, and then a ton. It's a massive homepage. It's really big, but it's for SEO, which we'll come on to. Anyway, the whole point is that when a client goes onto that homepage, they know, okay, this is what I'm getting. Award-winning websites. I'm getting this exact process. I'm getting a website that is as high quality as all of these that I can see. And then here's a little bit about, who this guy is, who's going to be building my website. But I would say a good split. I mean, I'm just plucking a figure out my bum hole here, but I would say 70% about the work and what the client can expect, and then 30% about you, your expertise, social proof, all of that good stuff, because it is important. But you will come onto some web designers' websites and you would think it's like an obituary or something. It's like, it's all about this person and who they are. And it's like, all right, steady on, Brad Pitt. Like, you're not a celebrity. People want to know what it is that you can do for them. And then, okay, off the back of that, a subsidiary would be who you are and why you're the person for the job. But that's another thing. I mean, not as ranty as the last one. The last one's going to be, the first one, should I say, that's going to be the most ranty one. So hopefully I'll be a bit more concise as we go on. But yeah, your website should focus on the benefits and be talking to the consumer, not just, vomiting all about you onto them. So that's number 2. Number 3 is your SEO just sucks. So with SEO, I always thought, you just have to pump out blog posts. Okay, well, that's great. That shows to Google that you're an authority and there's, new content every so often. Great. But then you have to do that at scale. I had a guy on a group call in Six Figure Design Club, and I said, okay, well, just as a start, do some blog posts. And he was like, yeah, I'm blogging. I was like, oh, great. How many blogs? And he said, 1 a month. And I was like, mate, I'm doing 3 a week. Like, people think, just a little bit will give me a lot back. The reality is you need to put, for every, let's say 1 blog post, you might get 0.1 of, that was awful, Matt. Let's say 10 blog posts, you might get 1 project. I don't know how I was going in the decimals. But anyway, what I'm saying is you have to put like a ton of effort in to get not much out. And so with blogs, SEO is a much larger thing, and I'll come on to that in a moment. But with blogs, you're going to have to pump out shit tons, and not just quantity, but quality as well. So with my blogs, it's all about like helping people. So, this is how you change a button style. This is how you add an animation to an image, blah, 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 blah. So key terms that people are searching, problems that I encounter and that people ask me about, and then I can then solve. So super important to be always solving people's problems. That brings eyeballs onto the website. And it also, again, shows Google that you're an authority in the space. But then it's so much more than blogs, and I'm not the expert on SEO. If you want an expert on SEO, look at Henry Purchase from Rough Water Media. He also owns I'm not going to butcher this, he owns SEO Space, which is the only Squarespace SEO plugin in the world, and it's sick. So basically, I pay Henry an exorbitant amount per month to personally do my SEO. And what we've done over the past 6 months is he's said, okay, Sam, you need to put all of this content on the homepage. We need to structure it like this. I'm going to do all of this jiggity pokery in the back end. And then we have to wait 6 months, and then it will start to pay dividends. So this is something that's really important with SEO and with getting your site seen, is you have to do hundreds probably of tweaks and additions throughout the site over a prolonged period of time to see results. So if you're thinking, oh, I'll just bang a page description on Squarespace web designer, Squarespace web designer, Squarespace web designer, and you'll get 10 leads a day, it's just not going to happen. So people do that, low quality, low input, low effort, and they think, okay, well, it didn't work after a week. SEO, scam, bullshit, it doesn't work. And then they just don't realize, and I don't blame them, because it is, it requires a lot of patience and it is a long game. But they poo-poo it and they never come back to it, and they think, oh, why is no one hiring me to build their website? Well, because no one even knows you exist. You are just a speck of dust in the ether because you've got no online presence. Where are you expecting clients to come from? If we go to the client journey, they're going to ask someone that they know, okay? So someone in their network. Then they're going to search for a Squarespace web designer, or, a web designer. I'm using Squarespace because I'm a Squarespace web designer. But they'll search web designer in my location, web designer on this platform, web designer for this niche, whatever. And if you're nowhere to be seen, why is someone going to, first off, how is someone going to find you to even hire you? And then if everything else isn't dialed in, well, why are they going to hire you? So you need to be dialing in the SEO. You need to work on all the back-end stuff. I would personally recommend either going with Henry's agency or just finding an SEO expert and getting them to absolutely dial in the whole site, give you a blog content strategy, and then just wait 12 months. So much of success in this game and in general is just being able to wait it out, being able to be patient, and making sure all of the lulls, all of the dips, you're able to fill that with all of the groundwork that it takes to get to those peaks. Because what most people do is they'll maybe do like a few days of hard work, and then they'll sit back and then, that's it. But they'll just wait. And then they'll get anxious and angry that they're not getting the leads that they thought they would get. But the reality is you have to keep doing those little improvements incrementally for 12 months. You don't do this one thing and then wait 12 months. You have to start and then wait 12 months. But while you're waiting, make those improvements iteratively, constantly. So you're probably not as good as you think you are. It probably applies to all of us. Then we've got your website only talks about you, or it doesn't talk enough about your clients and mostly about you. And then we've got SEO. So if you were just to dial in those three, address those three, and absolutely nail 100% each of them, you will get way more clients and they will want to hire you. They'll find you, they'll look at you and they'll go, that's the person I want to hire to build my website. Those three are the main three. So make sure, even if you don't watch the rest of this video, go away, make notes, make changes, and get those dialed in. Then wait 12 months. Iteratively, constantly make those changes throughout the 12 months. And I promise you'll be in such a better position. So those are the golden three. Now, there's a few more that I want to go through. So number 4 is that you're not an active community member. And what I mean by this for Squarespace is, well, this could be for any platform. You're not in the forums, you're not in the Facebook groups, you're not in any Slack groups or WhatsApp groups or, I don't know, Telegram groups, Discord groups. There's so many groups where nerds get together and nerd out about their chosen platforms. I'm a nerd. I'm in all of these platforms. So I'm in a Discord group, 3 Slack groups, 5 Facebook groups, and a partridge. I'm not going to go there. And forum, obviously there's only one. Well, there's 2 forums for Squarespace. WhatsApp group, 2 of those. Loads. Basically any community that you can be in to do with Squarespace, I'm in it because I want to be seen everywhere. I want to help people in the community. I want to ingratiate myself into the community and become like a known figure in the community, because people recognize helpful people, and people also recognize people who they see a lot. So there's I can't remember what it's called, but basically there's a rule, or not a rule, a law, and it's what's it called? Basically, people who spend a lot of time together. Over time, even though they may not like each other, they perceive each other as more, I think it's attractive and likable the longer they spend with someone. So I'm not trying to like cop off with people in the community, by the way. I do have a girlfriend. But what you want to be is friends and, close friends with as many people as possible, because A, it's nice to have friends who like the same things as you. And B, it's really beneficial for exploring opportunities and getting projects from each other. This has happened so many times to me where we've shared projects, we've worked on projects together, we've helped each other with code, and all of this has helped me become, it's called a community leader in the Squarespace forum. Well, in Squarespace, and now I also work with Squarespace as an official partner, and I do a ton of other like nerdy Squarespacey stuff. And this has come from just being really, really active in the community, helping, hundreds if not thousands of people, well, thousands with the videos that I do and the blogs, but also people know who I am, and that's not me like just being a little attention seeker. It is, but it's not solely about that. It's about being known and building a brand. If you can build a brand that is synonymous with excellence and helping people and generally just being a good person, that will take you extremely far. Word of mouth is the strongest inbound strategy that you'll ever have. And so if you feel like, oh, no one's hiring me, well, maybe you should try being helpful on forums in particular, because forums, and maybe Facebook as well, but forums are where the normies will come for an answer. So they'll create an account quickly, ask a question, and if you can help them, they may come to you, and thousands of other normies who have the same query will come, see your answer, and then they'll see your signature. Oh, hire this person to do whatever. Click on that. Bang, you've got a new client. This has happened to me loads. I've probably made, it's nothing to shout home about, but maybe like 10, 20k just through people clicking on my signature from free forum answers that I was giving. So like free solutions, someone will go, oh, let's have a look, click, biker offer, oh, I'll hire him to do this, this and this and whatever. So just being helpful for free is an amazing inbound strategy. And when someone clicks through that, they're coming into your frame. So you own this frame. You are the expert. They have come to you. They have seen that you've helped someone. You know the answers. You're the expert. They've come to you. You're not fighting other people for a job. They've come to you. And if you can get more and more people through this frame, you will land more clients. It's as simple as that. They're not looking at anyone else. If they come to you through a solution, they want you to build the site. And so you will book more clients. Promise. I promise. Now, that's number 4, I think. I've been waffling for so long, I've lost count. So let's go to, I think, number 5. And this is really, it grinds my gears, but I understand, is that you avoid client calls. I've had 2 one-to-one coaching clients, so people that I work with one-to-one, and I help them scale the business and whatnot. And they've like barely ever had a call. So it's not the end of the world, because one of them was doing, I think when she come to me, like 18k a month, which is amazing. But we started getting her on more calls, and within a month she went to 25k. So just by adding calls in within 30 days, she added 7k onto her monthly revenue figures. It's like, it's so obvious. But basically, if a client is going to spend, I don't know, let's just call it 5k. If a client's going to spend 5k of their money with you, they're going to want to speak to you. They're going to want to see who this person is, who they're spending their hard-earned cash on. Who, what makes this person tick? When they're talking, do they know their shit? It's a litmus test for a quality professional that they're able to hold a conversation on a call, answer questions on a call, guide a call, and run it as a professional would. And so it's like that the final piece of the puzzle. So let's say a client's looking at 10 proposals, and 5 of them are just like shit. So it's like, get rid of those. So you've got 5 left. Okay, let me look at the portfolios. Let me look at the website. Does it talk to me instead of just waffling on about the person? Okay, 2 are like self-absorbed and don't make any sense, and it's like too, what would you call it, airy. I don't know what this is. Too like airy fairy, and it doesn't actually showcase any results or any of that. So 2 of those gone. Then you got 3. 2 of them, or let's say 1 of them, just wants to email, or let's work it out through email. I'll send you a link to my proposal. No, piss off. Right, there we go. No, there we go. So you got 2 left, because these will jump on a call. Then you get proposal A, proposal B. Proposal A, okay, he runs his call like clockwork. Hey, bit of rapport. Tell me a little bit about how I can help. Sit back, listen, let the client discuss what their pain points are. At the end, he comes in and goes, okay, well, I'm thinking about a few examples just based off what you've said, here, and here. Okay, great. The next steps would be I'm going to send over an onboard form. That will tell me everything that I need to know. It will kind of recap what we've been through, and I can give you a quote. Once we have that quote, we can do blah, 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 blah. And then you talk about the whole process. Then proposal B comes on. It's like, first off, the 2 minutes late. It's like, hi, yeah, so I'm really good at websites, and piss off. You need to get on a call. You need to be able to run it well. And one thing that most people do is they make the mistake of proposal B. So proposal B, or person B, comes onto the call, and they're like fidgeting, anxious and nervous, which is fine, aren't we all? But you don't need to show it on, like, you've got this small square on a screen. You can fidget beneath and no one can see. Like I'm fidgeting, you can't see. There's no excuse to be fidgeting on camera. Well, I know I do all this, but you know what I mean. When you're on a call, you just keep it together for 5-10 minutes. Anyone can do that. Then people will try and sell themselves. You don't need to sell yourself. If someone's come onto a call, they have said to you, they've pre-vetted you and said, you are good enough. I just want to speak to you. So you should approach the call as sort of firming up the details and moving to the next step. I always imagine it as an onboard call, not a discovery call. So what I'll do is I'll just say, hey, bit of rapport, just chit chat. Like sometimes I'll go on for 10 minutes just talking about, what country are you from? Because I've got a funny accent. Oh, Liverpool. The football and the Beatles. And then you just talk about that for a bit. Doesn't matter. I'm in no rush. Everyone's got a half-hour increment. So I'll talk, and then I go, okay, so how can I help? And then I just shut up. Just shut up. Let them talk. Let them go on about all their pain points. And then just, okay, I'm making a quick note. I have here a notebook, and then a pen, obviously. And then I'll just write down any little notes that I think, okay, yep. And then at the end, I'll basically just say, yeah, we can do that. Like I don't say, I'm the best, I'm doing this. I don't need to sell myself, because the client has come on the call with me. They've seen my work. If they didn't like the work, they wouldn't waste their time on a call. If they did like the work, that's why they're on the call. So don't worry about trying to sell yourself. Ask them what the problems are and say, yeah, I can do that. This is the next step. Bang, send them the onboard form. As long as the price is right, that's it. The only bottleneck then is price. And for the most part, most businesses will have that money. So even if they had only allocated $3,000 to a website and they really didn't want to go above, but they loved your work, they'll probably stretch the budget a little bit. Like I had a client come to me, so they were in New Zealand, so random, but they were like a farming technology company in New Zealand, and they had like 1.5k, and it was like a 2-day build, but it was really, really complex. And I was like, I can't do this for any less than 7.5k. Like, I need to allocate a lot of resources to this. And they were like, okay, well, it's time constrained and blah, blah, blah. In the end, we went forward. So we went forward. They found an extra 6k, and then they come back to me with another project for 5k for another few days. That's how it goes. If your work is good enough, so going back to point 1, like if you have the skill, if you're able to run a call well, people will find the budget for the most part. Now, sometimes businesses literally just don't have the cash or they don't see the value in it. Okay, well, what can you do? But if everything else is on point, price shouldn't come into it too much. And I speak from experience. Like that one, I had another client, another tech, but it was like med tech company. I was like double the price of everyone else. So I come in at £10,000, and they were like, "Oh, Sam, this is really expensive." And I was like, "I know, but like you love my work." I always give people the best deal that I can possibly give them for the work that they want. And so they were like, "Okay, yeah, fair enough." Went forward with me because they liked me, and then they liked the work. And just a complete tangent, but if you are not a knob, most people will like you because so many web designers are tossers. Like they are not they're not nice people. They're really abrupt and they're not helpful. In Squarespace, it's a bit different. Everyone seems to be pretty very nice actually in Squarespace, but in like your run of the mill web design groups, they're just kind of dicky. So if you can buck that trend and just be like a cool person, people will gravitate towards that, and that automatically put you on the right foot, or start you off on the right foot, should I say, and it just increases the likelihood of you landing that job. So be a cool person, have a good portfolio, charge what you think is fair, and a lot of people will pay it. And that is, I've lost count completely. That's number 5 or 6, don't know. But that's pretty much our final point. But the final point is you just don't have all of the tools in like a neat, packaged way. And that's why pitch is incoming. I put together Six Figure Design Club. So with Six Figure Design Club, it's 80 lessons, all geared to take you from exactly where you are right now. So maybe you've watched a ton of YouTube videos, but you can't really place it all together. You just need someone to tell you exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it. So 80 lessons to take you from there all the way to 100k a year plus within 12 months. It gives you all the lessons, all the softwares, all the templates, all the tools, the community, everything you could possibly need to scale to the 6-figure mark within 12 months. If you click the link below, you'll be able to apply to join. I don't take on just anyone. I want to make sure that I can help you, obviously, because I need to make sure that you're the type of person who I can get there. And B, you're a good fit for the community. So the community is one of the integral aspects to the course. More of a program than a course, but the community is central to that. The community is what will give you the most success. And so I can't have any bad eggs. We don't right now. I've had to really, really cultivate this, and so I don't want to mess that up, and that's why I have to interview everyone that comes in. So it's an interview process. If you click the link below, you can book some time with me to go through whether you're a good fit and for me, and whether I'm a good fit for you. And then after that, you'll have access to absolutely everything you need to scale your web design business from wherever the heck you are right now to 6 figures and beyond. We've literally got people in there doing like 300-400k a year now. I personally still do this every single day. I'm on for 500-600k ish this year. I practice what I preach every single day. I make a lot more money from web design than I do from the coaching, but I do it for the love of the game and to help as many people as I can. So if you want to have all the stuff that we've been through, plus tons and tons of other stuff packaged in a nice way that tells you, okay, do this. This is how you do it. These are all the things you need. Go away, do it. Then 6 Figure Design Club is for you. If you don't want that, if you just want the free stuff, that's completely fine. You can actually sign up for an hour of free content from the course. Just again, click on the link. It's somewhere in there. Or just watch all the videos that I've got. There's so much value in there. So hopefully you found this useful. Hopefully you find everything else useful. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and hit subscribe. And if you do want to apply to join 6 Figure Design Club, click the link below.